A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the question, what is the enrichment? Today you're going to learn from the front page of the Hindu paper, first source of enrichment, then the second source of enrichment for comprehension skill from today's editorial. Today's editorial is not that easy to comprehend at the outset because it goes with research and development, it goes with the government, manufacturing sector, and the academic world on India's research, development, and innovation scheme. It is all about a particular scheme. And based on this editorial, the words you are going to learn oversight, falter, incipient, spectre. Some more words are there. Next is source, enrichment of sentence patterns, grammar consolidation, and effective English. And today I have brought five phrasal verbs. They all begin with the letter C, part of A to Z phrasal verbs. Call off, carry out, come across, catch up, count on. And today I'm going to teach an important rule. Then another source during the analysis, smart learning tips, all these things are going to be done. When it comes to exam topics, today you're going to work on comprehension skill, error location, phrasal verbs, fillers, word usage, and consolidation. Now let us go to today's the front page of today's Hindu paper. Let us see what it has to offer. There are five snippets. I'll read the first one. Reduce the cost. Two students have requested. Give me some time. I'll talk about that later. The first one, FATF flags use of VPNs e-commerce platforms. There's one important word, flag, flags. Flag can be a noun, can be a verb. As a noun, you all know India's flag. But if you take this sentence, it is here it has been used as a verb. So what is the meaning of the word flag as a verb? To mark something. Something is important or something has to be reconsidered, then we say it has been flagged. Are you guys aware of this? Next one, India Brazil ties relevant for the whole world. Modi. Our Prime Minister has given a statement. What is the statement? Right now he is in Brazil, and based on that, against that backdrop, he has given a statement. The ties, here ties means what? Relationship or relationships between India and Brazil, they have relevance to the whole world, relevant for the whole world. Relevance means related. Very good morning. Same Vishnu, every batch I see the name, every session I see the name Vishnu. Same person or a different person? Key suspect in Kemka murder shot dead. All words are simple. It goes with crime, but shot dead, murder. I told the other day also, one person kills another person. That is a case of homicide. CID, side means what? Kill someone or something. Based on this suffix, we can have a lot of, you should recollect a lot of words. One is patricide, matricide, pesticide, insecticide, feticide, and please respond. I expected some words from your end. Fratricide, assassination, a different word altogether. Genocide, an important word. No unfettered powers for ECI. Unfettered, an important word I guess we have got for the first time. Means uncontrolled, no restrictions, no unfettered powers. Means some limitations are there. Uncontrolled and unrestricted, important word. Role revision does not conform with existing provisions. Here there is one word conform. There are two words you have to recollect. Confirm, conform. Confirm the news means show some proof. And conform with something means follow that, stick to, adhere to. And also, we have who is this? Bharat, after a long time. Bharat the gamer. Good morning, sir. I got selected as officer scale 1 in Karnataka Grameen Bank. Thank you so much, sir. Your class is has helped me a lot. Please continue this, sir. Congratulations, Bharat. I request all of you to congratulate him. Congratulations on your success. Wish you a happy and bright future. Thanks for the feedback. Thank you very much. And conform means to follow, to stick to adhere to, comply with. And the last one goes with sports, tennis, Wimbledon. Someone overcomes. Overcome means to defeat in this context. Let us go to the main headline from today's Hindu paper, front page. I appreciate your response, congratulating Bharat. That's wonderful. It shows your positive attitude. Very good. Today, your turn. Tomorrow, someone else will congratulate you. You should be optimistic that way. India says trade deal with US imminent. There are two important words. One says, this is a reporting verb. I have already told you guys, any reporting verb, if it is in present, present perfect, or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. Very simple. And here, if you take, please give me a second. If you take the word imminent, this is an important word. Why is it important? Bank exams and SSC, many a time they have given questions based on two words which come under confusing words. Eminent, imminent. Eminent means outstanding, highly successful, someone with a reputation, and eminent scientist, one combination. Here, what is the word imminent? Imminent means certain to happen, likely to happen, inevitable, impending. Very good, I do. Imminent, war is imminent. That is very important. Means likely to happen. Then we have a pick over here. You can easily make out related to what? Related to religion, spirituality. You can see a lot of devotees. Yesterday also I told you guys, casual reading, you have a look at the pick. Final day of Rath Yatra, there's nothing to learn. But you should always be a smart learner while preparing for competitive exams. Ah, very good. Chariot. Who is this? Bhimanna. I appreciate. Chariot, then devotees, spirituality, holy dip, sacred, holy, so many words, pilgrims, pilgrimage, you have to recollect. Or if you have already written, you should spend some time, consolidate. We have this goes with an unfortunate incident, on and off it happens across the country. Level crossing, sometimes what happens, they don't close the gate and the train goes this way, suddenly a vehicle enters the track. Obviously, the result is disaster. Based on that, three school children killed as train hits van at level crossing gate in Tamil Nadu. Train is going straight, and a van must have entered the track. And based on that collision, and unfortunately, three school children, children with bright future, their lives were came to an end. And here we can also use ram into, hit ram into. You can think of that also. Here we have an interesting news snippet, news headline, news item. No more backbenchers. A Malayalam film inspires change in Kerala schools. Usually in our country, many countries for that matter, if you take a classroom, we have benches one behind the other, front row, middle rows, and last row. Usually brilliant or bright students occupy the front rows and backbenchers, there's an expression. But nowadays, on and off, backbenchers excel a lot. And there are jokes also, front benchers, back benchers. And this talks about, in a particular Malayali movie, it seems, they have come up with a brilliant idea. What is it? Look at the seating arrangement. No rows as such. And you see the students in this direction, that direction, that direction. What does it mean? The teacher is here. All the students can look at the teacher, and the teacher can see all the students. Eye contact, not an issue. But this works out. Brilliant idea, but works out only small groups. Imagine there are 200 students. We need a big hall. It is not practically possible, but wonderful idea. Domicile now must for women's job quota in Bihar. Domicile means what? Place of residence. Backbencher, who is this Nagashri? Okay. That's all about the front page of the paper, the Hindu. Let us go to source 2, vocab, and let us see what the words are. And if you are good at word power, you can handle all these exam topics effortlessly. The very first one, oversight. You may ask, sir, we know this word. How come you have brought the word oversight? Impossible for 200, sir. Oversight, yes, practically impossible. Oversight, you all know, many of you know. It is like you are reading something quickly. A few important points you may miss. Based on that, we use the word oversight. Then you may ask me, so why have you brought? In English, what happens? Listen very carefully. There are some words. They may be they have positive meaning, negative meaning, and they are very important from the exam point of view. First one, dust. Dust as a noun, negative, and dust as a verb, positive. For example, there's a lot of dust on this table, negative. I dusted the table, positive. Another word important from the exam point of view, weed. Weed as a noun, negative. Unwanted plant in a garden. And weed as a verb, positive. Remove the unwanted plants. I weeded the garden, positive. There are a lot of weeds in the garden, negative. But some students may think of some other weed. Please don't go off that track. Modern English, weed has a different meaning altogether. Let us not talk about that. Part of speech, noun. Supervision or watchful care, positive meaning. A mistake due to neglect or failure to notice something, typical meaning, negative. Synonyms, supervision, control, inspection. Antonyms, negligence, neglect, carelessness. All simple words. Falter, an important word. Part of speech, verb. To lose strength or momentum. You're doing something with a lot of enthusiasm, momentum. Suddenly it goes down. Then we have to use the word falter. Strength or momentum, one meaning. What is the other meaning? To hesitate or waver in action or intent. Hesitate. Two words you have to recollect. One is hesitate, the other one hasty. Both opposite. You hesitate means what? You take your own sweet time to do something or say something. Not advisable. Hasty also not advisable. You try to do things in a hurry. That is also not advisable. There is a saying in English. What is it? Haste makes waste. Have you heard of this any time? And don't hesitate. You should be proactive. Synonyms, stumble, hesitate, waver, decline. But there's another word you have to recollect. Here we have waver, and there's another word, wave, and based on that, waver. Imagine the course fee is 3,000. Someone has great academic credentials and topper throughout the academic career. Then I may bring down the course fee from 3,000 to 1,000. Imagine. Then I have waived off the course fee. Goes with the academic world. Also goes with interest. I requested the money lender to waive off the interest. It goes with prospective bankers. I'm sure you all know this. If not, you have to know. Stumble has another meaning. What is the other meaning of stumble? Imagine you're walking, you hit something, you fall forward. There also we use this word. And trip over. For that we also say trip over, a phrasal verb. Antonyms, progress, persist, thrive, strengthen. Thriving business means doing extremely well. Persist, exist for a long time. Incipient, an important word, goes with growth, development. Adjective. In an initial or beginning stage, just starting to develop. Something starts to develop, then we use the word incipient form, incipient stage. Initial, emerging, nascent. Nascent is an important word they have given many a time. Budding, budding entrepreneur, budding artist, usual combinations. Mature, developed, full blown, important. These are all of you look at this. I enrich so much from Naidu Paidi, Tripura Sundari, Divya G, and especially Anusha. She has got the job. Anusha Chowdhury, live chat. I appreciate this, Bharat. Really good on your part. You have acknowledged. All of you listen. We have regular students, and these students, besides enriching their knowledge, they do value addition. They enrich knowledge of other students who attend this particular session, the platform. And we have a few names. Naidu Paidi, he got 127 out of 135 SSC English, Tier 2. Tripura Sundari, Divya. Anusha has got the job. Nowadays, she is not, she doesn't come. These students are amazing, really amazing. I really appreciate these students. There's so much you guys can learn. And they're spontaneous, they keep adding, doing value addition. Full blown, you have to remember. Spectre. Now we have another student. I think some new students are there like Vishnu and UVSBI. Some Ahmed also started contributing. That's good. Spectre is important because it has two different meanings. One meaning, part of speech noun, haunting or disturbing image or possibility. Something haunts you means what comes to you repeatedly. For many candidates, those who are preparing for competitive exams, English haunts a lot. You agree or you disagree? And generally, we use this word haunting house. Means what? There's a particular house, abandoned building, ghosts visit that house, then we say haunted house. But what is the other meaning? Spectre also means ghost or spirit. In this context, it means something like a fear of something, fear of war. Yes, Anisha has got, she has informed me. Nightmare, very good. Nagesh. Nagesh also, I forgot to mention his name. He contributes quite often. Synonyms threat, shadow, fear, apparition. This is an important word you have to remember. And usually, fear of war. That is a typical thing you have to. Spectre of war. Comfort, security, reassurance, peace. Simple words. Commensurate, also an important word. They have given many a time. Part of speech, adjective. Corresponding in size, degree, or proportion. Suitable or appropriate to something. Simple word you have to remember. Commensurate means match. Proportionate, equivalent, consistent, but appropriate word matching. Similar. No problem. Bharat, no issues. Be happy you got a job. Be happy. And I wish you a bright future. Antonyms disproportionate, unequal, inadequate, mismatched. Simple words. But here, when you see this matching, commensurate, tantamount, that is also a good word, Nagesh. Good, I appreciate. Those are the words from today's editorial. Now, let us go to Enrichment 3 reading comprehension skill. All these topics depend on one particular skill. Which one is that? A reading comprehension skill. And reading comprehension skill, by listening to someone, you cannot become. It is like this. Imagine you want to become a swimmer. You read the best book, How to Swim. You jump into the pool. What will happen? You will get drowned. There are certain skills which are known as active skills. There are certain skills known as passive skills. Reading comes under passive skill. Swimming comes under active skill. Active, passive. And you can become good at reading comprehension skill only if you read. Listen, then you read. That will help. What is a stimulus? Quick fix. The expression quick fix goes with everyday English. And there's a brand also, there's a particular product. Quick fix means what? Quick solution to some problem. It never works. Beginners, my only suggestion, Lakshmi Kumari, you attend these sessions regularly. And after the session, spend some time, consolidate whatever you learn from this session. Along with this, besides this, learn grammar and learn all the exam topics, how to deal with exam topics, improve your vocabulary, and take mocks regularly. Beyond this, you don't have to do anything. Grammar rules, 200 rules, and exam topics based on prelims, based on mains, and vocabulary. Then these sessions for English, more than enough. I can give in writing. Don't look beyond. Quick fix what? On India's research development and innovation scheme. It is all about research development and innovation scheme. What is the main idea? Budgetary allowances alone won't solve India's R&D problem. From this statement, you can make out editorial has taken a stand that goes against the government, as simple as that, criticizing. Budgetary allowances alone won't solve. This is a short form of will not. Means something else has to be done. What else has to be done? What is the present scenario? When you read, you understand. Imagine you have read this one, the stimulus. It is about a particular scheme related to research and development, and budgetary allowances alone won't solve India's R&D problem. You should be smart enough to guess the editorial framework or the broad outline. So this is about a particular scheme related to what? R&D, research and development. Generally, when it comes to R&D, we need funds. And funds, there are two sources. One, government, that is public sector, the other, private sector. And you have to know the editorial may throw some light how much percentage public sector or the government, how much percentage private sector. So far, it has been here 70% and here 30%. Based on the scheme, they want to change. The public sector wants to contribute 30%, and the government wants the private sector to contribute 70%. And you have to think, uh, editorial may tell us what is this scheme and what are the bodies behind this scheme, who is a custodian, who is going to control the funds, and what is the present scenario when it comes to R&D. And obviously, we compare the global north R&D scene and global south R&D scene. What are the differences and what are the reasons behind? And finally, editorial may suggest what has to be done, because this alone will not solve the problem. This is a broad outline. Let us see how it starts. The Union Cabinet recently approved a 1 lakh crore research development and innovation scheme. Government has approved something. What has it approved? Here, who approved? Approved what? 1 lakh crore. Towards what? Research development innovation scheme. And what is the objective? Why? That aims to incentivize the private sector to invest in basic research. All these years, public sector has been taking care of R&D. Now things have to be changed. A particular scheme has been introduced so that private sector comes into picture. It plays a major role, or it has to contribute the lion's share. What is the meaning of lion's share? Major chunk, that is 70%. The scheme will primarily consist. Here the writer tells us initial introduction, who approved, how much, and what is the name of the scheme, what is the objective of the scheme. Now, what exactly is this scheme? The scheme will primarily consist of a special purpose fund established within the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF, which will act as a custodian of funds. This scheme will primarily consist of a special purpose fund, and this fund has been established within something. Within what? The Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Scheme within a foundation. What is the name of the foundation? ANRF, which will act as a custodian. Custodian means, in a way, you have to recollect words like mentor, guide, and a protector. Imagine there's a fund, and you have the fear or apprehension the fund may be misused. Then you give the responsibility of managing the funds to a particular person. That person will be called custodian of the funds in this context. The funds will be in the form of low interest loans. What is the structure, what is the form of these funds will be again future tense active voice in the form of low interest loans. The ANRF is conceived. When you see the word conceived, you have to think of everyday English we use. What does it mean? Pregnant. She has conceived means what? She has become pregnant. But here to come up with, to think of. I hope I'm not blocking the text. And here I would like to tell you something. Nominee is different. Who is this Madhu Babu? No, no. Nominee is entirely different. And here, some people they think of a brilliant idea. They launch that a particular project, a particular institution. Over a period of time, it becomes a big organization. And then when we talk about that organization, we say it is his brainchild. Have you heard of this any time? His brainchild, a particular institution, a particular company, brainchild of someone. That means he has conceived, he has visualized, exactly Naidu, visualization. The ANRF is conceived as an independent institutional body with oversight, means supervising, positive connotation, who will supervise by the science ministry to allocate funds for basic research and to incentivize the private sector participation in core research. Core means essential, important. This fund, it is part of ANRF and it is conceived as an independent institutional body and also it is supervised by the science ministry to allocate funds for what purpose? Basic research and to incentivize private sector participation in core research. There are two dimensions basic research. Second one is very important. The focus is on this private sector participation. The involvement of the ANRF here is a novel move. Novel means what in this context? New, creative, innovative. You should also recollect English novels, fiction, non fiction. That is different. As a newly created organization is meant to be the equivalent of a single window clearance mechanism for funding research and development for universities and academic institutions. The editorial opines this particular move, involvement of the ANRF, is a creative move or innovative move, novel move. Why? As a newly created organization is meant to be, it is equivalent to something. Equivalent to what? Single window clearance mechanism. Today, if you take industries, imagine you want to start an industry, you have a project. In the past, it would be like sort of harassment. A person had to go to different departments, submit different certificates, would take a lot of time. And for that, there's one important idiom. What is it? Red tapeism. Have you heard of this? Red tapeism means bureaucratic hurdles. But people would get frustrated and they would give up the idea also. But based on that, today the governments, central or state level, they have come up with this single window clearance mechanism. Means what? One shot, one time, you can get the clearances, you can launch your industry. For funding research and development for whom? Universities and academic institutions. It is also expected to get about 70% of its budget from private sectors. This is an important dimension. Yes, red tapeism, good. In sum, through the RDI and the ANRF, the government is looking to stake the bold claim that it has played its part and that it is now up to the private sector to come forward and reverse the ratio from where the government today accounts for about 70% of India's R&D spend. Look at this sentence. Today I may not focus more on grammar because today's editorial is more based on contextual awareness, not easy to comprehend from a layman's point of view. Some sort of intellectual caliber is required and lengthy sentences. In sum, for this you can think of in a nutshell, means what? In brief. In sum, what does it mean? The government is looking to stake the bold claim. Government wants to claim something. What is it? That it has played present perfect tense active voice its part. It has played its role, and that it is now up to the private sector. I've done my job. Now it is up to you. This we use in everyday English. It is up to the private sector to come forward and reverse the ratio. What is the ratio right now? Government 70% and private sector 30%. And the government wants that to be reversed. Means private sector 70%, public sector 30%. Reverse the ratio from where the government today accounts for about 70% of India's R&D spend. However, contrasting information, already incipient in the government's tall ambitions. There's one expression here, tall ambitions, tall claims. Negative connotation is also there. But tall ambitions, you have to recollect, lofty goals. Have you heard of this anytime? Please respond. He has set himself lofty goals, means very high goals. An important expression. Have you heard of that anytime? However, contrasting information, already incipient in the government's tall ambitions are traces of what has caused the previous such schemes to falter. Government has already launched a few schemes, ambitious and perhaps innovative, but there are some traces, negative aspects. What are the traces? Traces of what? What has caused the previous such schemes to falter, means to fail, to stumble. Based on that, the first of these is conservatism. One of the reasons for this faltering, conservatism. What are we supposed to do to come out of this present scenario? It turns out that an important expression. Turn out means what? Prove to be something. Initially, you think of something, but it becomes something. Then you use. It turned out to be something positive. It turns out that a condition for availing funds is that only products that have reached a certain level of development and market potential, or what are called technology readiness level 4, TRL4 projects, would be eligible. This sentence talks obviously about, imagine you have funds, you're ready to give as a loan, and someone approaches you. You cannot give every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You see whether the person deserves or not, and you look at the eligibility criterion or eligibility criteria. This talks about who is eligible to get the funds. And there is a condition. What is a condition? It turns out that a condition for availing, an important word. Tell me why is it important? In English, we have reflexive verbs. Verbs like enjoy, absent, avail, take pride, pride, avenge, revenge. And if there is no object after a reflexive verb, we have to use a reflexive pronoun. He enjoyed himself a lot yesterday. Here, enjoy is a reflexive verb. There is no object in the sentence. Then we have to use a reflexive pronoun himself. He enjoyed himself a lot last night. That you have to recollect. Availing funds is that what is the condition here? Products that have reached a certain level or development and market potential, or what are called TRL4, Technology Readiness Level 4 projects would be eligible. These are criterion. There are 9 TRL levels, a hierarchy. Hierarchy means one below the other. If you take a company, top you have chairman, here you have the operator. In between you have the vice president, general manager, all these people. The whole system is called hierarchy. How many levels are there? 9 levels. Here they are focusing on level 4. There are 9 TRL levels, a hierarchy that was first conceived by, thought of, thought by the United States National Aeronautic Space Administration, NASA, in the 1970s. 1970s, NASA thought of these 9 levels. Now, Indian government is focusing on level 4 to decide whether loans can be given or not given. TRL1 represents a basic level. To save time, the writer talks about the first one and the ninth one, not all the 9. First one talks about basic level of research. Ninth one talks about a state of advanced readiness, the highest, the last stage. TRL4 appears to be an arbitrary decision. Many of our students know arbitrary. Tell me, what does it mean? It means based on whims and fancies. You can also say based on someone's whims and fancies, spontaneous, without any reason or reasoning, without a reason, without any reason. You decide just like that. That is spontaneous, that is arbitrary. TRL4 appears to be an arbitrary decision to support any promising research that has progressed halfway. Why is it arbitrary? What is the decision here? Support any promising research that has progressed halfway. There are 9 stages. Fourth stage means halfway. You support that, and the decision to support it between midway seems to be arbitrary according to the editorial. Were there such a magic sauce? Venture capital industries premised on the fickleness of predicting the next big thing would not exist. This is a bit difficult to understand. Imagine you want to fund a particular project, someone's brainchild. You cannot decide midway whether it is going to be the next big thing or not. You have to wait till the last stage, then you get a clear picture, then you decide whether to go in for venture capital or not. And there's no magic sauce to decide midway, okay, this is going to be the next big thing. The sentence talks about that. The scheme also seems to forget these are all negative aspects. This is a negative aspect, supporting midway. First point. To substantiate that, there is no magic sauce to decide midway whether the project is going to be successful or not successful. Second point, the scheme also seems to forget that technologically advanced countries have become what they are because of their military industrial complexes, where the specter of war, fear of war, incentivizes the development of technology that is risky and expensive. All of you listen very carefully. Very good, Nagesh. There's one important word here, fickleness. Fickle minded means what? Not stable. British English, we say fickle minded. Americans say scatterbrain. Not firm, not stable. But this you have to listen, something very interesting. I myself found it interesting and surprising also. This one and the sentence continuation of that. I have done one editorial. We have global north, global south, first world countries and third world countries. We don't talk about the second world, communist countries. First world important, third world important. Global north, first world. Global south, third world. And today, what is the difference? One of the differences between global north and global south, global north, technologically advanced countries. And the sentence says, how could they become what they are today? They could become because of the fear of war, because of specter of war. Imagine you know some danger is going to come. Someone is going to attack you. Then you'll be alert, you'll be on your toes, you will think seriously with a focused mind to stop that person. You will come up with some new ideas, creative ideas. Same thing when there's a specter of war, government spends more money and takes a risk coming up with advanced technology. That was the motivation behind. Incentivizes the development of technology that is risky and expensive. Imagine war is imminent, then obviously risk is involved. War is imminent, money doesn't matter, maybe expensive, we have to do it. We have to spend money to save ourselves. But this point is very important. Listen very carefully. But over time may prove to be immense civilian value. Examples are the internet or the global positioning system, GPS. What you should understand from this, these two initially they were started because of the specter of war, fear of war. They started these projects. Initially negative. War means negative. But over a period of time, They became extremely useful for civilians. Immense value. Today you cannot imagine the world without internet. You cannot imagine the world without global positioning system. Capricious, Naidu, very good. Temporary, fickle-minded. Initially negative, but over a period of time turned out to be positive. This is something very interesting I found. India continues to hemorrhage scientists. Hemorrhage goes with blood flow. Overflow of blood, reverse direction also. One more meaning, excess blood flow, hemorrhage. Another meaning, reverse flow. In this context, the second meaning, India continues to hemorrhage scientists to the West. They are supposed to be in our country, excuse me, but they are going towards the West. That is like opposite direction, reverse flow. India continues to hemorrhage scientists to the West. Why? Due to the lack of opportunities commensurate with their training or talent. Today we have talented people. Imagine you are a talented person and have floated a company, and I don't provide you the right environment or ambience to use your talent. Will you join? You won't join, because if you join, you cannot use your talent. You become a redundant employee. Your skills become redundant. So what will you do? There's an option. If you go to the Western countries, your talent can be used. So you prefer the West. This sentence talks about that. Match with their training or talent. In this context, I would like to tell you guys something very important. They have given as a passage in bank exams. Have you heard of this any time? Brain drain. Brain drain means the most intelligent people of a country, especially India, they leave India and go to Western countries and settle over there. That is known as brain drain. We spend a lot of money. Government of India spends a lot of money, IITs, IIMs, but after getting the degrees, they go abroad, they settle over there, and they give the talent to those countries, not to India. And this has been a major problem since 1980s, and many a time discussions in the parliament. But no one can change this trend. What is the reason? Imagine India provides the right ambience, the right atmosphere, right environment for talented people, highly talented people. That means here infrastructure. Then they will stay back. Why will they go? It doesn't mean that they are not patriotic. They are patriotic. They are contributing a lot. But why should they leave the country because of the situation? India provides appropriate infrastructure. Why will they go? Choice is always our own country. Yes or no? This sentence talks about that. Finally, it lacks a deeply skilled. All these talk about the problems. Alone will not solve to substantiate that. Finally, it lacks a deeply skilled manufacturing sector that can make the products that scientists conceive of. Today, when we talk about any country, traditionally, countries progressed based on manufacturing sector. All the Western countries. Later, service sector came into picture. Today, IT sector, information technology sector, that comes under service sector. India is not very strong when it comes to R&D, when not, because of that, not good at manufacturing sector, broadly speaking. What is the reason for that? And because Indian manufacturing sector is not that good, imagine a scientist thinks of a brilliant idea. They cannot convert that into a product and produce on a large scale. This is one of the problems. It lacks a deeply skilled manufacturing sector that can make the products that scientists conceive of. They cannot do that. Lack or dearth or scarcity of something. Budget, now the main idea being reiterated. Budgetary allowances cannot overnight fix that which requires major surgery. Imagine you require a major surgery, but you want to do it immediately, just like that. That is not the solution. Main idea is being reiterated. Session time is 7 a.m. Morning 6 a.m. bilingual English and Telugu. Morning 7 a.m. only in English. Now let us go to mini mocks. First five questions based on comprehension skill. Your time starts now. What is the theme? Central theme of the editorial. Try to answer quickly. India's military research needs restructuring, not at all relevant. Private players should stop depending, no. The new RDI scheme is ambitious but flawed in execution. Flaw means error, mistake. No one is flawless in this world. No one is infallible in this world. Answer is C. Your time is up. Tone based question. Your time starts now. What is the writer's tone in the editorial? Celebratory and optimistic, objective and data driven, cautiously critical, nostalgic and emotional. Editorial criticizes a particular scheme, at the same time analyzes cautiously, criticizes cautiously. And your time is up. You cannot choose positive words because this scheme alone will not solve the problem. There itself you can make out the tone. Celebratory, optimistic, no. Objective, data driven, in to some extent you can consider. Nostalgic, emotional, not relevant. So what is the answer? Cautiously critical. Explicit info based question. Your time starts now. What role does Anusandhan National Research Foundation play in the RDI scheme? A role of ANRF in RDI scheme. It manufactures scientific equipment for Indian universities. It serves as a single window clearance and fund allocation body. Obviously. Answer is B. Time up. Implicit info based implied information. What does the editorial imply about choosing TRL4 as the eligibility criterion? Criterion singular, criteria plural. What does the editorial imply? Positive or negative? It ensures only the best projects receive funding. It may discourage basic research and early stage innovation. It aligns perfectly with global standards. It promotes military industrial research. Time up. Answer is B. It may discourage basic research and early stage innovation. Level 4, you cannot decide. After level 4, we have how many levels? Total 9. Level 4, you're trying to decide. Still, how many levels are there? 5 levels are there. Anything may happen. Positive may happen, negative may happen. Too early to decide. Based on that, B is the answer, not C. Question number 5, your time starts now. Writer's view based question. What is the writer's view on India's manufacturing sector in relation to research? It is world class and supports research effectively. No, we don't have world class. Slowly we are catching up with the West. It needs only more budgetary support. That is not enough. It is underdeveloped and hampers, blocks research translation. Hamper means to block, both positive meaning, negative meaning. Gift hamper, positive. It hampers research, blocks research, negative. Let us go to exam topics based on, here I think we have a rule, not exam topics. The scheme will primarily consist of a special purpose fund. Will primarily. Based on that, there's one important rule. What is that rule? If you use pronouns I or we, you can use will or shall. I will come, I shall come. We will come, we shall come. But if you use other pronouns, what are the other pronouns? You, he, she, it, they. Then you cannot use will. You have to use only shall. This is an important rule you have to recollect. But a word of caution. If you are talking about future actions, this is a rule you have to think of. But these helping verbs or models, they have other functions. Will has 4 functions, shall has 4 functions, and you cannot, that is a different thing altogether. You should not bring into picture here. We have effective English exam topic, idioms and phrasal verbs. Today I have brought 5 phrasal verbs, easy. But newcomers are there, beginners are there. They should spend time and they should make sure they get all the 5 correct. Call off, easy one. To cancel an event, postpone an event. Carry out, execute or implement. To perform or execute a task. Come across, find something by chance. To find something by chance. Catch up, catch up with, that is important. To reach the same level. Count on. You can also think of rely on, depend on, bank on. So, what is the answer for? If you have got all the 5, wonderful. 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. Very good, Sanjay. I appreciate. Nagesh also. Let us go to exam topics. And first one, error location. Naidu also. Yes, Vishnu. Very good. Error location, your time starts now. Despite of claims of progress, usually I tell students, this is a familiar one, so I will uh, I will do the analysis. The moment you see despite of, you know it is not correct. That means first part is wrong. But why have I brought this though easy? There's a suggestion, there's a tip. In the actual exam, you come across a sentence like this and you read only the first 2 words. Don't go beyond that and you decide there's an error in the first part, skip the remaining part of the sentence. You can save a few seconds. That is being smart, efficient. Imagine you know despite of is wrong. Still you read the sentence, that is ridiculous. Sheer waste of time. Question number 2, error location, your time starts now. In spite of, despite, in spite of 3 separate words. Yes, Madhu Babu, only despite, in spite of 3 separate words. Good, I appreciate that. Looks like a new student. Your time is up. What is the subject here? Leaving verification. Leaving something, leaving, reading, writing, to the discretion, a phrase of local electoral officers, a phrase. Leaving increases or leaving verification increases. Sentence is in present tense, affirmative form. Subject is third person singular. We should add s or es to the verb. Based on that, it is not increase, it has to be increases. Good, you guys got it right. Question number 3, your time starts now. Pillar. The Election Commission's stance on documentation has led to confusion among voters. When you read a sentence, fillers or close test, understand the context. Election Commission's decision resulted in confusion. That means here we need a negative word. That's why confusion. Consistent positive, firm positive, transparent positive. So what is the negative word? Contradictory stand resulted in confusion. Simple. Your time starts now. Today it may get extended by a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, should not be a problem. Be prepared for that. The current process risks. There's a negative word. Obviously, that is a clue. Genuine voters, particularly from marginalized communities. Imagine some process and marginalized people. Generally, we talk about marginalized people, we talk about inclusive growth. But here there's a risk. That means exclusion may happen. That is contextual awareness. Enfranchising risks? No. They may not be part of this system. Empowering. All these are positive words. So, what is a negative word? Disenfranchising. Enfranchising, disenfranchising. Answer is the third option. They may not be included. It results in exclusion. Your time starts now. Question number 5, word usage. What is the word here? Stipulate. The law stipulates that everyone must ignore traffic rules. Then it results in chaotic situation, a lot of accidents, a lot of deaths, not relevant. The agreement stipulated new regulations on water usage. She was stipulate grammatically wrong. He was in a stipulating mood, grammatically wrong. Time up. So what is the answer? B is the answer. Very good. Sanjay, first one to respond. Words you got yesterday, try to respond quickly. Endanger, verb, jeopardize, also threaten. Please participate actively. This is very important because you learn a lot every day. You cannot get time to revise. Then this is the platform where you can revise and consolidate. Tout verb means what? Publicize. Publicize. Stipulate verb. Put a condition. Peril. Make perilous. Enumerate. List out. Yes. Ad hoc. Part of speech. Adjective. Means simple word. Key word you write. Temporary. Inherent. Part of speech. Adjective. Means what? Intrinsic or inbuilt. Ubiquity. Part of speech. Noun. Ubiquitous. Adjective. Means omnipresent or all pervasive. Pervasive, an important word. Onus, part of speech, noun, means what? Duty or responsibility. Innate also you can say. Tripura Sundari, very good. Vishnu, yes, all these. Local native we cannot use. We can definitely use intrinsic indigenous. Before I wind up, let me tell you, I launched a course. H, have you responded? All okay. What is the name? Aspirants to Achievers. It has deals with prelims, mains, descriptive English, GD, and interview. All the dimensions that go with bank exams, and it is both recorded and live. Those who have enrolled, they wanted to know. So what about the orientation? Already videos are there, but I gave till 10th. There's an offer. After 10th, we'll come to know the number. And 11th, I will conduct the orientation based on the present scenario, new models. Wait till that time. And I told yesterday also, new series. I'm going to start in 1 or 2 days. Please have patience. More questions about the app, about 200 grammar rules, about Telegram channel. Have a quick look. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Do remember to